class, intercommunication demo. I'll include the main method in it, public static void main. Okay. Now, for the demo purpose, what I will do, I will create one thread class. We'll create one worker thread, and we'll consider a demo to display the product of n numbers. So worker thread will basically extend thread class. See, and over here, what we'll do, we'll override the run method in it. Note here, important point to note over here is that anything for this needs to be invoked in synchronized block, either it will be synchronous block or method. So the way notify, they are following the thread safety concerns. They should be invoked only within synchronized context. So I will implement the logic over here. So as I told, I need to take the product of n numbers. I will initialize the product of n numbers. I will initialize it with 1. Okay, and I will just include a for loop over here, and I equal to 1, I less than or equal to, let's say, 5, I plus plus. So I will just take the product of n numbers. Okay, and post that I'll just over here I will just do some custom instance to just to give the for the information purpose of the user, in run method of worker thread. Calculated. It's some message is after the for loop it will print, and yeah, after that what I will do, now we need to notify that this thread has completed its execution. So notify the waiting thread. So like I will just this dot notify all. So what it will do, it will notify the thread that is waiting. So I just include my information. Okay. So yeah. So this the job of the worker thread is done. So the main method will create an instance of the worker thread. Work thread instance equal to new work thread. And we'll call like start this thing to start the thread. Give for product of n numbers. So yeah. So for that point to be noted is that we need to enclose it within the synchronized context. So I'll press the worker thread instance over here. Instance. Okay. So yeah. I'll give some message that within main method synchronize context. After that, we'll first call the wait instance. Not here. What the wait will do? It will cause the current thread to wait, means the main thread to wait, so that it will give its execution to the worker thread, and worker thread will perform its duty, and it will notify the waiting thread, that is main thread. So but what I am observing that it's giving some compiler exception warning. So either you need to include the try catch, or because it might throw an interrupted exception. So I will use the throws declaration over it, so it will throw that exception. So wait is invoked, and after that I will get the result actual work. Okay, so let's say a result and numbers and work instance a plot of n numbers, and so see what we have done. We have created the worker thread, we have overridden the run method in it, and we are in the synchronized context. We have taken the actual working of the thread, that is it will print the product of, it will sorry, it will calculate the product of n numbers, and after that it will, after yeah, see, perfect, it's working absolutely fine. So in the run method of worker thread, it's first printed, that is in the firstly the run method of the worker thread was given. After that, n number of product is calculated. This message is printed. That is within the synchronized construct. Because what happened, the worker thread in the main method, you given an instance, the worker thread instance, you invoke the start method. Immediately after that, invoking wait, it given call to this. So it printed the run method of worker thread. It calculated the product of n numbers, and after that in this line of code it given the call to the notify. So it will notify the main thread, that is the main thread, it will notify, and after that its execution is done. You get some product of 5 numbers. So just for test purpose I will take it as 4. Let's see it correctly prints or not. Yeah, correctly. So because 4 into 3, that is 12, 12 into 2, that is 24, into 1 equal to 24, so it's correctly printing. So let's see what happens if I give the notify over here. Shall it work correctly or not? We'll see on it. Yeah, perfectly fine. Because what happens, the difference between notify and notify all is that the notify, it notifies only a single thread. That is the point. And notify all, it notifies all the threads that are waiting for the lock to waiting for the lock to be released, and to get the result from it. So suppose over here we have taken only 2 threads, that is one worker thread, one main thread. But there might be a situation that there might be n number of threads waiting for that particular, let's say 2 or 3 or more, 4 or 5, n number of threads that are waiting for the lock to be released. Then in that case, it will, the main purpose is to invoke the notify all method. So mostly suited for our case is notify method. So notify all also works. So because it notifies n number of threads, or so in that n thread, one thread can also be there. So both the methods are serving a purpose, but to to be more concise, you need to include only the notify method, and as you can see, it's correctly working. So it is currently printing the product of n numbers. So in this video you saw all about intercommunication between the threads. So how the wait method works, how the notifyAll method works, how the notify works, difference between notify and notifyAll, when to use which methods that you need to consider. So this video was all about the inter-thread communication process between the threads. Through a simple example where we get to know how they can communicate with each other. So do keep liking, subscribing, #TechieMit, more to come on multi-threading and related series and related topics. And bye for now.